Good morning and welcome to California Winter League Baseball, broadcasting live from Palm Springs Stadium in beautiful Palm Springs, California. I'm Josh Sperber alongside Mitch Glessner, and these are two teams who are on opposite end of the streak spectrum. The Power have won 3 straight games, their only loss coming to these British Columbia Bombers, who have lost their last 2 after being victorious in their first 2 contests. Luke Drummond back on the hill for the Bombers, and he was the starter in that opening day 4-0 shutout win against the Palm Springs Power.
Yeah, we'll see what we have in store for today. The Power have won 3 in a row. They're on a hot streak. They got some good pitching their last time out. Really solid all-around effort. The Bombers have been one of those teams, though, on our radar, especially with the guys that are in the middle of their order. I feel like they have probably the most dangerous offensive lineup, as they'll send out those dangerous hitters again today in Blake Freeman, Felix Aberrett, and Jacob Cruz. No Griffin Schneider, which is a little bit of a surprise to me, but maybe we'll see him later on in the game. But yes, some heavy hitters in the middle of that order for the Bombers. We'll see if the pitching from Joseph Scambaluri can hold up for the Power today.
Scambaluri, one of the most coveted pitching prospects here in the California Winter League. We'll definitely talk about him in the next inning, but the Power are going to be leading off as they're the visiting team today against the British Columbia Bombers. Junior Coleman, the center fielder, will lead things off, followed by Ronnie Keaton. Keaton batting second and playing second. Robbie Carling will be the designated hitter as the first pitch is pumped in by Drummond, fastball high, count 1-0. Robbie Carling's batting third at the DH. Robert Bruggemeyer is the cleanup hitter out in right field. Julian Hunt will play the shortstop as Drummond kicks and fires, and it's fouled away by Coleman. Count even up at 1-1. Zach Thompson, the number change for him, started the season off as 16. Now wearing number 30 and playing in left field, will bat in the 6th spot. Landon Barnes moves to the third base and batting 7th. Casey Combs behind the plate again, and Patrick Metzler is following him, batting 9th, as the count is 2-1 to Junior Coleman. Drummond, as we mentioned, the opening day starter for the Bombers, through 3 scoreless innings, allowing just 2 hits and a walk, and striking out 5 in the shutout of the Power. 2-2 the count, as Coleman swings and misses at a breaking ball. A 4-pitch mix for Drummond, one of the only guys with a sinker, throws a 4-seam changeup and a curved ball as well. That sinker is what got Coleman fooled. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Junior Coleman down swinging on the last 2 pitches, and there is the first out of the ballgame.
Early strikeout there for Luke Drummond. It looked like he went back to the sinker there, ran in on the hands of Coleman. Couldn't pull the hands in quick enough, and an early strikeout. Both of these teams coming off an off day yesterday, Josh, so fully rested and ready to go today. The Power would shut out the Bombers 2 days ago. 7-0 was the final in that, and great efforts on the mound from both Bryce Foster and Espedia for the Power. So Bombers looking to get some revenge here today.
2 games, 2 shutouts, 11 runs scored in total, as the breaking ball misses to Ronnie Keaton outside for 2-0. Keaton, primarily a shortstop, can play second as well. First left on right matchup. The 2-0. Swung on a miss, strike 1, as Keaton could not catch up to the Drummond fastball.
Looked more like a changeup actually out of the hand there. Just fooled him, a little bit of fade action to it.
Ronnie Keaton has yet to record a hit, as he cuts and missed on another breaking ball from Drummond. 2-2 the count. 0 for 3 so far this year is Keaton. 1 RBI, 2 walks, and 2 runs scored. Was caught stealing once as well. 2-2 pitch is knocked foul. Count remains 2-2.
It'll be fun today to see, Josh, if somebody offensively for the Power stands out. So far, we haven't really seen anybody for them offensively do a whole lot of damage.
As Keaton fouls another one away, long in foul territory down that left field line. Count still 2-2.
We've seen a couple of really good efforts from them on the mound, so we'll see if we can't get a standout player for them offensively today.
The 2-2 pitch. Wave and a whiff, strike 3. 2 up, 2 down for Luke Drummond, and 2 strikeouts he is just getting them swinging so far.
That appeared to be the changeup there. Josh Drummond has thrown that pitch a couple of times already now. A pretty good feel for the pitch here early on in this ball game. Typically a pitch that you kind of have to search for the feel of, but so far, no problem for Drummond.
Robbie Carling takes a look at the first pitch, a breaking ball outside, 1-0 the count. And you're talking about the offensive standouts. If there is anyone, it might be Robbie Carling for the Power. He's 3 for 5, 2 runs, 3 RBIs, as he sends that high in the air down the left field line, but it's going to drift towards the batting cages. A foul ball for strike 1.
Yeah, Carling coming in with 3 hits in 5 at-bats so far this Winter League. 3 RBIs as well.
And the best batting average on the team, hitting a nice clean .600 over the first 2 games he's played. As he takes a breaking ball, count 1 and 2.
Drummond really pounding the zone here early on, Josh. Got everything working. There he shows the slider. He's working off the fastball really well.
1-2. Wave and a whiff, strike 3. 3 up, 3 down, 3 punchies for Luke Drummond. And he has the Power just swinging at air. So nothing doing for the Power as they go down 1, 2, 3. And the Bombers will come up to bat in the bottom half of the first. Bottom half of the first inning as Joseph Scambolari will attempt to run for the Power, trying to equal Luke Drummond, striking out the side performance in the top half of the inning. 2-game starter for Scambolari, the other opening day starter in this Bombers versus Power matchup, as Scambolari pumps in the first pitch, a fastball that is fouled away by Malcolm Smith. Smith will lead things off for the Bombers and play out in center field. Clifford Pratt bats behind him in the 2-hole and will play shortstop. Blake Freeman out in left field, batting third. And Felix Aberrett, the catcher, will clean things up as Scambolari deals the second pitch. It is a fastball high, count evens up at 1-1. Behind Aberrett is Jacob Cruz, who will be hitting in the DH spot and batting fifth. Andrew Caulfield at sixth as Smith cuts on and misses. Another fastball from Scambolari. He is pumping in that heater so far. Brett Donady playing third and batting seventh. Keyshawn Clark playing second and batting eighth. Tyler Ryan will round out the lineup in right field. As Scambolari throws it, it hits the back of Keaton. That was right up against his chest. Fouled back towards the Power dugout. Count remains 1-2.
Yeah, the Power get a good 1-2 punch from both Bryce Foster and now today Scambolari, who's coming off a great start his last time.
Foul ball might have hit off the mask of Aberrett. Of Combs, takes a big bounce over the netting. Now, count is 1-2. Let's set the defense for the Power. Robert Bruggemeyer in right. Junior Coleman in center. Zach Thompson in left. Infield after this pitch, and that will head into shallow right center field. The second baseman, Keaton, drops back, makes the two-handed grab for the first down. For the infield, Ronnie Keaton at second is joined by Julian Hunt in the middle of the infield. He's playing short. Landon Barnes at third, Patrick Metzler at first, and Casey Combs, the battery mate of Joe Scambolari, only catcher listed on this power roster, though Tyler Ryan on the Bombers is a guy who can play both positions. Not a lot of guys who can do that for the power. Zach Thompson took some reps at catcher in the workout drills back on day one of the California Winter League, but has not seen behind the plate just yet. 1-0 count, and the pitch to Pratt is fouled away. Count evens up at 1-1.
Isn't it crazy that already kind of feels like it was like a few weeks ago? It was really just, what is it, week and a half? Yeah, exactly 1 week ago. So times are flying by, and they always do when you get to watch baseball every day. But
time does fly when you're having fun, as Pratt waves and misses at a high fastball. Went around on the swing trying to check out. 1-2 the count. 1-2 pitch, fastball high. Count evens up at 2-2.
That's a beautiful pitch right there. Scambolari has one of the cleanest deliveries in this entire league. Very repeatable, one of my favorites.
2-2 pitch, way outside on the breaking ball. Count 3-2.
Great mechanics. You see a lot of break there on the sweeping breaking ball. Really upright. Has a nice high leg kick. Good hand separation.
The payoff pitch inside corner. Strike three. Catches Pratt looking. And the first strikeout for Scambolari is 11th of the season. And that'll bring up Blake Freeman. But you're talking about Scambolari's breaking stuff. He loves to close hitters out on that breaking pitch. The pitching coordinator here, Cam Roth, is trying to teach him to close guys out with his fastball as he pumps in a breaking ball to Freeman, hitting the outside corner, count 0-1.
I really just like the hand separation and the free and easy arm. Really elastic.
Hit on the ground, a couple of bounces up to second base. Keaton charges, fires to first base, and it goes behind Patrick Metzler. It's going to be an error on Ronnie Keaton. And we have our first base runner of the day with two away, Blake Freeman on first base.
Freeman getting down the line in a jiffy there, though, putting some pressure on Keaton to make the play. He had to go to the little sidearm action, the little dart throw, and just because of that wasn't very accurate with it. But going back to Scambolari a little bit, touching on his put-away pitches, he also is very good at changing the eye level with a fastball. Haven't really seen much of a changeup from him. He really relies on that slider and curveball working off the fastball.
And there is a fastball. It's lined into right field for a base hit. Chugging around the bases is Freeman. He's going to stand up into third base. Felix Aberrett is on with a one-out single, and suddenly trouble for the power with runners on the corners and two away.
Yeah, we touched on the middle of this order for the Bombers, and Aberrett, they are showing why the middle of their order is so dangerous, and then not to mention that'll bring up Jacob Cruz, the left-hander with pop in his bat. So if the Bombers can get consistent good starts from their pitching staff, they're going to be in great position because they can put up runs early in ball games very easily.
Something they did against the Power in the first game, that 4-0 shutout, as the foul tip is called for strike one. And Cruz was a bigger part of that second game, where he hit the first home run of the season in the Bombers' second win, a 388-foot blast out to right center field. 0-1 pitch inside, count evens up at 1-1. Cruz on the year, leading hitter so far for the Bombers. 5 for 8, 2 runs scored, a double, a home run, 3 RBIs, and 1 strikeout. So poise at the plate from Cruz. And he's looking to poke one in the outfield to start the scoring. Curveball misses high, count 2-1.
Cruz also unsigned. 8 guys so far signed, 5 to the Frontier League, 3 to the Pioneer League. Aberrett, who was aboard at first, was signed by the Glacier Range Riders in the Pioneer League.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Scambolari making Cruz look silly with that outside breaking ball.
It's probably only a matter of time before Cruz gets his opportunity to sign with somebody.
certainly looking like he earns a contract. Joseph Scamboluri has caught the attention of a couple of Frontier League teams, but he was saying that he's looking to explore his options. Wait until the last day. Fisted just through the hole in the shortstop gap for a base hit for Jacob Cruz. Each runner moves station to station, and we got 2 on, and 1 run has come home, and it is 1-0 Bombers.
Didn't hit it incredibly hard in on the barrel, but just enough hand strength to muscle it through the 5-6 slot out into left field. So an early run for the Bombers, and again, when they can put up runs early in a game, it gives them a great opportunity for their pitchers to relax and just have fun out there and pump strikes.
First pitch to Caulfield is fouled away. Count is 0-1. So that's the second run that Scamboluri has allowed all year, and that both those runs unearned coming off the bat of British Columbia Bombers. 0-1 count now to Caulfield. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Scamboluri fooling him with that slider. You gotta love that in to out, that sweeping slider that Scamboluri just throws so well. 0-2 the count as Scamboluri looks in for the sign. Takes a brief glance at second base, pumps in the 0-2 pitch, wave and a whiff, strike 3. Scamboluri responds to the RBI by Jacob Cruz with a quick strikeout. So 2 strikeouts in the first for Scamboluri, but 1 run for the British Columbia Bombers. 2 left on 2 base hits and an error, and at the end of 1, the Bombers have a 1-0 lead. One nothing after 1 inning. Luke Cummins' scoreless inning streak against the Bombers has moved up to 4 after he struck out the side in the first inning. Robert Bruggemeyer will start things off for the Power, looking to be the first Power player to put a ball in play. And Drummond picks up where he left off, hitting the outside corner with a fastball. And that makes the count 0-1. Bruggemeyer has played in 2 games for the Power this season and fouls that one backwards, count 0-2. 2 for 6 on the year, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, and he has walked twice. On base percentage at an even .500. Drummond working quickly from the stretch, the 0-2. Misses low with the breaking ball, but not by much. It's a 1-2 count to Robert Bruggemeyer.
See if Drummond goes back to that changeup, which he had working. Probably go to the breaking ball, though, with the righty at the plate.
And there it is, that curveball, a beautiful pitch from Drummond, catches Bruggemeyer looking. 4 batters faced, 4 batters sent down on strike. by Luke Drummond.
Feels really special in the air right now for Drummond. When a guy has it working like this, you really know that it's on. 4 straight strikeouts for the righty.
And that is to start off the game. Julian Hunt looking to break that streak. Takes the first pitch, inside fastball, just catches the corner, count 0-1.
I'd be really curious to see what his velo is sitting at as well. Looks like around upper 80s if I had to guess, maybe low 90s.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. And once again, Luke Drummond has the hitter down to an 0-2 count. Drummond from the stretch deals. Fouled away, a rocket of a foul ball back into the netting to make the count stay at 0-2.
It's fun to watch both of these pitchers, the way that they kind of attack guys. Drummond with more of a shorter arm motion.
0-2 pitch, cut on and fouled right back into the netting again. Second straight ball fouled away by Hunt, and we will do it once more.
Still a pretty effortless delivery, but he almost muscles it a little bit more than Scambolari, but both of them get tremendous spin on their ball.
0-2. Fouled or hit on the ground to third base, couple of hops, and fielded by Donady. A high throw, but getting the tag at first base is Andrew Caulfield for the first non-strikeout batter. First batter not recorded out by a strikeout.
Julian Hunt just gets the weak contact, rolls over the pitch over to third base. There's no worse feeling in the world, Josh, than rolling over a fastball that you believe that you could do some damage with. You just get those hands rolled too quickly through the zone, and the barrel just stays on top of the baseball the entire time. Gets the weak contact.
And the curveball gets away from Drummond. That's the first pitch to Zach Thompson. Misses. Count 1-0. And we got the velocity that you asked for. Our stats guy, Steve Bronak, is listening, working the flight scope right behind the plate. There's the fastball from Luke Drummond that misses low. Count 2-0. And that fastball is sitting right around 90 miles an hour. 88 and 89 seem to be the average for Drummond on the heater.
I guess I got a good pair of eyes on me.
You're a human radar gun, Mitch. 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed. Native cut that on the outside of the bat. Count 2-1 to Zach Thompson. 0 for 2 on the season. Just played in one game. Breaking ball misses low, and Luke Drummond in danger of allowing his first base runner. Might have been a sinker even there. That just kept tailing away from Thompson at the plate. The 3-1 pitch, Drummond kicks and fires, fastball inside, count is now full at 3-2.
And that's the thing, I actually was talking to Casey Dill, the manager of the Power, before this game, talking a little bit about pitchers as we'll get this pitch.
The payoff pitch just catches the outside corner and catching Thompson looking. So 2 strikeouts, both looking, and a second straight 1-2-3 inning for Luke Drummond. A great start to the game for the Bombers as they take a 1-0 lead into the bottom of the second. Brett Donnelly stepping up to the plate for the Bombers. Tyler Ryan following him. The bottom three in the Bomber order as Joe Scamboluri was getting ready. And you were talking to Casey Dill, the Power manager, before the game about how strong the pitching's been thus far.
Yeah, absolutely love just talking baseball with Casey anytime I can. The manager for the Power and is very involved with the College of the Desert as well out here in Palm Springs, or in Palm Desert for that matter.
Donnelly bounces one to shortstop. Hunt waits on it, fires across his body to first base, and gets the first out.
Well, we were basically just talking, how these pitchers, they're going to give themselves a chance to get signed here in this league, Josh, as long as they're pounding the zone. You don't have to completely overpower the velocity. Obviously, velocity is a factor that always needs to be taken into account, but even guys that are touching 86, 87, they're going to put themselves in a great spot to get signed as long as they're pounding the zone, creating weak contact, and throwing all of their pitches for strikes. So both of these pitchers in this game doing just that, giving themselves a chance for these managers out here to give a good look at them and hopefully get them signed.
And we're talking about throwing strikes. 2 straight strikes to Keyshawn Clark thrown by Joseph Scamboluri. And if you guys could see the flight scope data that Steve Bronack is providing us, you would be amazed at how well he's painting the zone. Scamboluri gets the wave and the whiff from Keyshawn Clark, so not to be outdone. 3 strikeouts already for Joseph Scamboluri. A pitcher's duel is brewing so far, Mitch. 2 away for the Bombers.
Yeah, and they're getting outs early in the inning as well. They're making it easy for their defense. They're not lingering out there or letting the innings get extended. They're really just going out there, taking care of their business. I like both of their demeanors on the mound, both very calm and collected, very confident. Scamboluri, you can just tell he's oozing with confidence with that fastball and especially that slider as well.
And there's a fastball drilled into center field, but Coleman's got a beat on it, takes a couple of steps back, and makes the one-handed grab to get out of the inning. So a quick 1-2-3 for the Bombers. Great response by Joseph Scamboluri after allowing an unearned run in the top of the first inning. We're through 2 innings, 1-0 the score between the Power and the Bombers. Welcome out to Palm Springs Stadium. Josh Sprober and Mitchell Glessner on the call for you here. Landon Barnes will lead off the inning as the bottom third of the Power order is coming up to the plate. Drummond, 5 of 6 batters, retired by the strikeout as he pumps in the first pitch of the bottom half of the inning. His count is 1-0.
Power just looking to get anything started. 1, 2, 3 in both frames so far. 5 strikeouts for Drummond.
And the only ball put in play was a weak grounder by Julian Hunt. It went almost directly to the third baseman and Brent Donnelly. Ahead of the count is Barnes, 2-0. The pitch from Drummond is fisted into right field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. A great start to the inning for the Power as they get their first base runner with no one on and no one out.
There you go. Even though it's weak contact, the scorebook doesn't know the difference. Still goes down as a hit hard line drive in the scorebook, a single to get him started. And sometimes that's all it takes, just one base hit to get the guys behind you, get them rallied a little bit. At the bottom of the order, we'll see if they can't bring it back to the top to get some of those guys another look.
And a bullet or a bloop. A hit is still a hit as Combs takes the inside pitch for an 0-1 count. Barnes on first as Combs, the only catcher, has stepped up to the plate more than anyone, tied with Marcus Page. And that tie is broken here as Page has 10 at-bats as well. The 0-2 pitch catches the outside corner from Drummond. Barnes has speed at first base, but no stolen bases thus far. And Drummond turned around from getting behind Landon Barnes, and now ahead. Pitcher's count 0-2. 0-2 pitch is hammered out to left field, lined almost directly to the left fielder, Blake Freeman, who squeezes for the first down.
Just a little bit in on the hands there. The fastball exploding out of the hand of Drummond, and that fastball looks like it has a little bit extra zip to it, just with how quickly he delivers working from the stretch. He goes to that slide step, and with that short arm motion, the ball just kind of explodes out of that hand in that upper 80s velocity.
Now bring up Patrick Metzler, who takes the fastball high, did not go, turned his body, but held up his swing. The wrists did not break, so the umpires say that he checked his swing. 1-0 the count as Barnes' lead grows off of first. Drummond peering out the back of his eye towards first. Barnes thought about it, and it's fouled away by Metzler anyway to even up the count at 1-1.
You can really see how behind Metzler is there on both fastballs, so really getting that late life to it. A good riding action from Drummond, if you will.
And Metzler looking for some slower pitches. We'll see if he gets one from Drummond. Long pause from the right-hander from the stretch, deals. And that catches the bottom part of the plate. And Drummond is now ahead of Patrick Metzler, 1-2. Metzler 1 for 6 on the year, but that one base hit was a double. One walk, looking to avoid his fourth strikeout. He will temporarily, as the fastball misses high, count 2-2. And there's Drummond trying to use that high heat as the strikeout pitch. And as we've talked about, Mitch, that has been a big point of emphasis for the coaching staffs here at the California Winter League. Drummond takes a look at first base, and from the stretch deals the 2-2. It's drilled into right field for another base hit, just going inside of the foul line. Metzler rounds first base as Barnes is standing up into third, and Patrick Metzler gets his second hit of the year, another double. This one in stand-up fashion, and the power are threatening.
Casey Dill was looking to try and be aggressive with Landon Barnes. Held him up at third. A nice job there by Metzler to keep it fair just barely. Again, late on the fastball. This time just on time enough to keep it in fair territory. An aggressive turn. Finds himself in scoring position. Ducks on the pond for the power.
First pitch to Coleman, who's looking aggressive at the plate. Fouls it off, maybe both masks. 0-1 the count. He struck out to start off the game. But the first extra base hit, as you said, Mitch, put some ducks on the pond. Two runners, both in scoring position, are on for the power. Drummond looks in for the sign, taking a gander at the base runners. From the stretch, deals the 0-1. That one misses. Runners held up as Abarette's able to keep the ball in front of him. Count even at 1-1.
We'll see how the catcher defense checks out. Abarette, a nice job there. Looks like that could be a crucial factor in what might be a low-scoring game here early on while these starters duel it out.
And Coleman trying to change that with a 1-1 count. Hit hard and high in the air on the right field, tracking back, looking for it is Ryan. He will let it drop. One run will score as rounding set third is Patrick Metzler, speeding into home, and going on to third base, sliding in safely is Junior Coleman. So a big one-out triple clears the bases and gives the Power the lead.
Stays on that pitch, drives it the other way, over the head of the right fielder out there. That is Tyler Ryan for the Bombers. Just a good piece of hitting, and again, the aggressiveness on the bases. As soon as he sees that ball go past the right fielder and up towards the line, a full head of steam charging around second, hitting the inside part of the bases to gain some momentum on the base pass. Showing off some of the speed there from Coleman, and they are in business, back-to-back extra base hits.
Extra velocity, exit velocity on that. As we look at the hang time of 3 seconds, 80.4 miles an hour is the bat speed on that from Junior Coleman. As number 2 hitter, Ronnie Keaton, is looking to drive in another one.
And they'll bring the infield in here, try to cut down the run at home on a ground ball, or at least keep Coleman there. Outfielder's relatively shallow as well, so trying to cut that run out.
Keaton looking for that big cut, swing and a miss, strike one, 1-1 to count to Ronnie Keaton. First 2 RBIs of the season for the leadoff hitter in Junior Coleman. As that is hit high in the air into left field. Running back looking for it is Freeman. He's going to make the one-handed grab and throw it down the line. Junior Coleman hustling towards home, and the throw will not get there in time, so the sacrifice fly plates another one for the Power. They lead 3-1.
They're in business right now, Josh. Situational hitting. A prime example there. Keaton gets the ball elevated, something that he can handle up in the zone and drive out far enough for the sacrifice fly. Does his job as he is congratulated, all high fives in the dugout. It's one of the best feelings as a teammate when you know your teammate has done his job situationally at the dish.
The team is excited for him coming into the dugout as they were when he hit that triple. A rocket of a shot down the right field line, still showing support in the dugout. Second pitch of the at-bat to Carling, misses inside, count now 2-0, as Carling struck out swinging to end off the first inning. Carling wearing number 27, a number that usually belongs to Willie Barcena on the Power, as that is lofted foul, and it's going to go over our broadcast booth and out of play.
So the Power gains some momentum here after the Bombers came out with that early lead with 1 run, but Power fighting back here early on.
2-1 pitch, just catches the plate. Count even at 2-2.
And again, it just starts with one, Landon Barnes leading it off with a single. Usually that lead man is enough to get all of the guys rallying behind you.
2-2 pitch, wave and a whiff, strike 3, and down on strikes once again is Robbie Carling, but the damage done for the Palm Springs Power. 3 runs on 3 hits, all runs earned. One runner left on base, or no one left on base, excuse me, I was right the first time. And at the end of 2.5, 3-1 Power. So the Bombers some work to do after their one-run lead vanishes after a 3-run inning for the Power. Malcolm Smith, the leadoff hitter, will lead things off as he bounces that one off the infield dirt and off the glove of Landon Barnes. Smith takes a big turn around first base and will head back to the bag on another errant play. Give that error to Landon Barnes at third. The guy who led off the inning for the Power, leading off this one in a different way with a runner on base, and Malcolm Smith, a guy who prides himself on being a speed guy, is on first base. I bring up Clifford Pratt. Malcolm Smith immediately taking off. A good throw, slightly offline, and it's just enough for Malcolm Smith to slide in safely under the tag of the second baseman, Ronnie Keaton.
So for Smith, that'll be his first stolen base of the season. Good speedster as he checks the outfielders. With nobody out, a good lead man hit the ball hard to the third baseman. Finds his way aboard in scoring position now.
That one is hit high in the air by Caulfield. Into the infield. No infield fly called for. And the catch is made by Julian Hunt for out number 1.
Would need a runner on first for that infield fly, but get the high pop-up. We talked a little bit about situational hitting, and with a guy out at second there, your job is to try and at least hit the ball on the ground to the right side. I know it's always not the easiest thing to do in the world, but at least try to set yourself up to put yourself in that position, get a ball out over the plate and try to take it that other way with the hands, but unfortunately just a high pop-up on the infield, that doesn't do him very much good here.
First pitch to Freeman is dribbled down the left field side, foul, count 0-1. Freeman scored the first run of the game, reached on an error by the second baseman. And now he's up to bat with a runner in scoring position. With the speed of Smith, a single in the outfield hit strategically could plate another run. 0-1 pitch is fisted into left field, drifting into foul territory and dropping in the Bomber bullpen, count 0-2.
See if we can get some velocity for Scamboluri as well. Just a little bit curious. Looks like he's probably hovering around that 85 to 86 range. See if we can't get some spin rate as well.
And Samuel Kornstad is warming up in the Power bullpen, just stretching and tossing his teammate. The 0-2. Inside, just missing the corner, and Scamboluri hopping up and down on the mound. He thought he got that pitch.
Yeah, I don't think the pitch just missed. I think more so the umpire just missed there, Josh. Right over the plate. 1-2
the count as Scamboluri looks back on second base. Smith dancing, Scamboluri dealing and missing with the fastball high. Count 2-2.
Talk a little bit about the spin rate, one of the newer metrics in the game. Good way to evaluate a guy's stuff.
2-2 pitch on the way from Scamboluri. Quick glance at second. Fires in the curveball, wave and a whiff, strike 3, and a quick tag applied by Casey Combs. So Blake Freeman is down swinging, and that is strikeout number 4 for Joseph Scamboluri, 2 away.
There's a prime example of that spin rate. Obviously a pretty good thing when you want it higher. Not always the case. It's a case-by-case thing typically for each pitcher. But typically you want that spin rate in the 2,500 range as far as a breaking ball is concerned.
First pitch to Aberrett, misses inside, count 1-0. And something we do see from spin being such an important factor in breaking balls, it's harder to catch. And you saw Combs had to block that pitch, keep it in front of him. So no drop, third strike would be called for. That one is lofted high in the air into shallow left field. Going back on the infield grass and making the catch is Julian Hunt, and that will end the inning. So one runner put on base via an error, but nothing doing for the Bombers as they remain down by 2 runs. We are through 3 innings here in the California Winter League. Drummond back on the hill, looking to keep the Power at bay after a 3-run third inning, I should say. Robert Bruggemeyer led off the second with a strikeout looking. That is 1 of 5 over 3 frames for Drummond. Still looking good despite giving up those 3 in the third inning, as the curveball can't catch the inside part of the plate. First pitch of the fourth misses for ball 1. Bruggemeyer 0 for 1. Drummond deals, and that one sliced foul over the stands and out of play. 1-1 the count to Robert Bruggemeyer. One of the later additions to this California Winter League. Enjoying his time so far. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. And Luke Drummond is throwing with a paintbrush out there, hitting the black with nearly every pitch. 1-2 from Drummond. Fastball high, count 2-2. And there it is again, looking for that heater as the strikeout pitch. You're not going to see a whole lot of velocity coming from the pitchers, as the hardest fastball touched 93 miles an hour. As that one misses, count 3-2. That one was thrown by Robbie McCoy on the second day of action for the Palm Springs Chill. 3-2 the count, and the payoff from Drummond is cut on and missed, strike 3. Luke Drummond fooling hitters left and right, strikeout number 6 for the big right-hander.
Again, just really good ride to that fastball. We got some spin rate numbers from Scambaluri in the past innings, spinning that fastball around 2,300 RPMs. Right in line with some of the big guys in the show, Josh. So kind of touched on, spin doesn't equal great success, but it does help. Kind of looking at some of the best arms in the MLB, a guy like Kevin Gossman, Jacob deGrom spin it around 2,300 for their four-seamers. So creating that deception and creating that ride to the fastball.
Hunt bounces it on the ground at third base. It's called foul. That one was fired in wide by Brett Donnelly. Quick 0-2 count for Julian Hunt, who put the first ball in play for the Power.
So, again, just kind of going back to the spin. Here's a good one for anybody out there just curious into some of the newer stats or metrics in the game. Here's a website, Baseball Savant. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one, Josh. It's one of my favorites.
Caught on and missed, strike 3. 2 up, 2 down, and Luke Drummond is looking like his first innings self. 3 straight strikeouts, all swinging.
Yeah, he's looked
phenomenal so far. He's really played off that fastball.
Zach Thompson.
Looks like it's just exploding through the zone with some late life, and he's pounding it for strikes. Short, compact motion, and here's another one. He's just pouring it on with that fastball.
Painting the corner there to Zach Thompson, who struck out looking back in the second. 3 strikeouts in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and 2 more here. A 1-1 count now to Zach Thompson. Been a whole lot of Ks coming from Luke Drummond. 8 strikeouts so far for the righty. 1-1 pitch, misses outside, count 2-1.
But yeah, again, just kind of finishing up that point, check out baseballsavant.com. They have all of that really cool info like exit velo, launch angle, barrels, and they'll adjust it like for the park as well. They'll show how many home runs a hitter might have hit had they had played, say, in Cincinnati instead of New York. Really cool stuff on that site. Really good visuals as well. Just a really fun site to check out.
Deuce is wild, 2-2 pitch, and that is cut on and foul tipped off the glove of Felix Aberrant. The count stays 2-2. And Mitch, I don't know if I should have or am in the right mood by not going to Baseball Savant after that Yankees-Red Sox wild card game. A couple of those Stanton blasts looks like they could have been homers anywhere else. Hit on the ground at second base. A quick fire over to first by Keyshawn Clark ends off the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning. 3 out of 4 innings have gone that way for Luke Drummond. We are halfway home here at Palm Springs Stadium, and the Power lead 3-1. Jacob Cruz leading off the bottom half of the fourth inning. Singling a run back in the first. Unearned run charged to Joseph Scambolari, who remains on the mound for what could be his final inning, as Samuel Kornstad is trekking back from the bullpen after completing some of his warm-ups. A solid outing so far for Scambolari as he pumps in the first pitch of the fourth inning, a breaking ball low, but catching the corner for strike one. Bruce getting the first power display of the Cal Winter League as a curveball. Nice hammer curve from Scambolari, but it just can't find the zone. 1-1 the count. Cruz hit that first home run the second day of the season for the Bombers. Almost 400 feet in the Bombers' victory. Or fools them with a breaking ball there. A nice pitch from Scambolari to drop the count to 1-2. Those breaking balls from him, Mitch, look absolutely nasty.
Yeah, and he's really going, I wouldn't say it's quite a 12-6 bender, but it's pretty darn close. It looks like it's around an 11-7. Real good action on the pitch.
A heavy drop there, and another breaking ball lined into left field, getting a read on it, but it bounces right in front of Zach Thompson. Cruz speeds around the bases and stands up in second base with a leadoff double.
Not being able to find the ball out there was Zach Thompson, and again, kind of going back to a conversation I had with Casey in his office before the game, talking about how we're not necessarily surprised that the infielders will get some really hard hops on this infield. This infield doesn't play the most consistently, but what we were really surprised on is kind of the lack of good defense by outfielders so far. It's one thing to mishandle some bad hops on the infield, but for outfielders to simply just not make the play on a ball that's hung up in the air for a while, that's a little surprising so far in this Winter League.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of easy-looking drops, but you have to remember, rarely a cloud in the sky here in Palm Springs, and that sun shines bright overhead of the diamond at Palm Springs Stadium. So that certainly plays a factor as Caulfield has to turn around as he's beamed in the back by Scambolari. Looks like the heater just slipped out of his grip there. And early two runners on for the Bombers.
Number 10.
Yeah, he gets weak contact from Cruz to start it out. Unfortunately, wasn't rewarded from that weak contact, so kind of carrying that over there into Caulfield's at bat, just running it too far in, not being able to control on the inner third.
First pitch to Donity is a curveball that misses low, count 1-0.
Josh, you were kind of talking about how Giancarlo Stanton giving some trouble for the Red Sox in the postseason. How about Donity actually has set up a little bit closed off, a little reminiscent of Stanton. Normally you don't see guys too closed off. Kind of impedes their vision, but comfortable with the stance here is Donity.
The stance certainly looks like Stanton's, kind of upright, a little bit closed.
Yep. Not nearly as wide as Stanton, but again, most guys really not comfortable with that setup, but he's kind of going for it here.
He's got a 1-1 count to him as Scambolari checks on the runner on second base, and Donity pokes it into the batting cages down the right field line to make the count 1-2.
And I remember when Stanton changed to that closed-off setup, and it was more so just because they were working with him as far as, hey, you're really strong enough, it doesn't matter. You don't have to have a big leg kick or anything. They closed him off so that he could work on taking the ball the other way. So typically you'll see guys with a more closed-off stance. They're looking to drive the ball the other way because their strengths lie on that inner third.
1-2 pitch from Scambolari. Caught on and missed. Oh, no, it looks like he hit it with a little bit of a foul tip, just barely grazing it with the end of his bat. And the count stays at 1-2. Did not think he made contact with that pitch.
Yeah, barely tipping it there. Combs just not able to squeeze it for the strikeout.
Second foul tip on a 2-strike count that Combs was unable to reel in to confirm the strikeout. We'll see what he can do here, as that one is clearly fouled off. No tip there, as that's sent back into the netting to make the count stay at 1-2. But I mean, Stanton's a guy. I mean, you're talking about strength. He can bunt a ball; it'll go down the line for a double. I mean, he just So much power in that swing, and not everyone just has that natural ability. High pop-up into the air, and an infield fly is called for, but still settling under it to make the catch is Julian Hunt, and that's the first down of the inning.
We've seen a lot of high pop-ups on the infield so far in this ballgame, and you kind of alluded to it, Josh. Sometimes with just how blue the sky is here, sometimes that ball, the further and further it gets up in the air, it gets deeper into that deep blue sky, but they're able to handle it as Dill will make a pitching change.
I'm surprised he's pulling Scambaluri this early. He is responsible for both runners on with one out. Right-hander coming up to the plate in Keyshawn Clark. So Scambaluri will head to the dugout after 3 2/3 innings pitched. And Samuel Kornstad will come on for the Power. We'll take a short break here on the California Winter League's YouTube channel. So Samuel Kornstad back on the mound for the Power. Lefty on righty matchup. Interesting pitching switch from Casey Dill as a quick bat pick to first almost hits the runner. I think it kind of seemed like Caulfield coming back impeded the glove of the first baseman Metzler. But either way, an errant pickoff attempt by the pitcher will send Jacob Cruz to third. Caulfield remains at first. The runner's on the corner before a pitch is thrown to Keyshawn Clark. And before Samuel Kornstad has offered one home.
So Kornstad in a bit of a jam here, would like to get a ground ball.
He does not. He gets a line out, but a soft line drive is caught on a hop from Ronnie Keaton. One away on a quick 2 pitches and a solid second out. Secured by Samuel Kornstad.
Well, he'll take that as well, any soft contact. And anything out of the outfield, sounds a little weird, but anything, he'll take anything that's not a deep fly ball in that scenario. He takes the soft liner, handled easily. So working with 2 outs here to try and keep the Bombers right where they're at.
First pitch swinging by Ryan, and it's going to be fouled directly back and land above the broadcast booth, looking to bounce in the stands, 0 on the count. Ryan 0 for 1 on the day. That line drive really just hung up in the air for Keaton.
Yeah, just off the end of the bat, it sounded like he broke his bat.
Next pitch outside from Kornstad, count even at 1-1.
Kornstad, the tall lefty, coming set quickly here.
The pitch is fisted foul. Going to dribble into the Power dugout, and now Kornstad is 1 strike away. Scambaluri is responsible for both runners on the bags, has 1 unearned run allowed, just 2 hits so far given up for the right-hander. Currently in line for the Power victory, though. The 1-2. Bounces next to the plate, count evens up at 2-2.
Kornstad coming in with 2 games under his belt, just 6 innings of work. He has not started a game. He's allowed 4 earned runs. So this would be a big confidence booster for him if he can get out of this jam.
2-2. Hit on the ground, foul. Rolling into the Bomber bullpen. Count remains at 2-2. And there's some guys who just enjoy the pressure of being a reliever. Some guys who want to start and kind of be in command and keep the pressure on the other guys. As a 2-2 pitch, misses high, dropped in front of the plate, but scooped up by Casey Combs. And we've got a full count with runners on the corners.
Here's a very interesting one. Seeing that the NFL now, one of their advanced stats is they'll actually track the heart rate of guys. So I saw a graph of Patrick Mahomes' heart rate during that playoff game and how it stayed even keeled. It'd be interesting if baseball added that for relievers.
Payoff pitches drilled into the gap in left center field. This one could tie it up. Coming home as the ball bounces towards the wall is Cruz, rounding third, and scoring is going to be Caulfield, and standing up with a game-tying double is Tyler Ryan. We're all knotted up at 3.
Huge double there. That's probably the hardest hit ball of the game. Hits that one right on the screws, getting the bat out in front of the plate there. Some big offensive production in the bottom of the order for the Bombers, and now they bring it back to the speedster at the top with Smith. We'll see if they can't get another run in with the guy in scoring position now.
So that will officially close the book on Scamboluri, as that one is fouled away by Malcolm Smith. Count 0-1 to him. So Scamboluri has gone 3 1/3 innings. Allowed 3 hits, as that one is down the left field line, good for a base hit. The Speedy Smith rounds second, scoring Ryan, and back-to-back stand-up doubles, and the Bombers have retaken the lead, 4-3 the score.
Yeah, nothing like trading places with the guy out at second. So Smith has hit the ball hard his last 2 times up. This time he's rewarded with the double, and the Bombers are in business. We knew that this would be a good matchup, Josh. It's living up to the hype so far. Hornstead really just trying to get out of this inning and limit the damage at this point.
First pitch to Prad misses. Ball one, other left on right matchup. Prad 0 for 2. Struck out and pumped out. The 1-0. Sliced foul and out of play.
We get a 98.8 exit velocity off the bat of Tyler Ryan, pummeling that ball into the left center gap. You know it's got a lot of life on it when it hits about 3/4 of the way into the outfield and still makes it easily to the wall.
That ball misses outside, count 2-1. So those last 2 runs charged to Scamboluri, both earned, as he is not in line for the victory. No decision will be called, as fastball misses high, count 3-1. So Scamboluri has allowed 3 hits, 3 runs scored, 2 of them earned, with 4 strikeouts on the day. Breaking ball inside, and that will fill up the count at 3-2.
Trying to clear away what the count is with the umpire. Hornstead looking to make a big pitch here, see if he goes with a fastball.
Payoff pitch is hit off the end of the bat, but high into shallow right field. A couple players around it, but it's Ronnie Keaton who ends up to make the catch. Squeezes for the 3rd out of the inning, but the Bombers come all the way back, scoring 3 runs in this 4th inning to give them the lead once again. 4-3 your score, the Bombers lead. Landon Barnes leading off the inning as Luke Drummond returns for the top of the fifth. Last time Barnes led off an inning, the Power scored their first couple runs, and that one is hit hard right to the shortstop. After a couple of steps, Clifford Pratt is not going to be able to handle it, and we're going to give that a base hit to Landon Barnes. So 2 straight leadoff singles for Barnes, and he has just been hitting the ball very hard so far.
Making his case to make his way back to the top of the order. A couple of good at-bats from his last 2 appearances at the plate. And the third, like you mentioned, Josh, led off with a single, so 2 straight leadoff hits for him.
Barnes on first base, and Combs grounds that right up the middle, and that's going to fall through for a base hit. No one able to get to that. That hopped right over the second base bag. 2 straight pitches, 2 straight singles for the Power.
Yeah, they're getting great production at the bottom of their order, the bottom third, between Barnes, Combs, and Metzler now. 4 for 5 in total, so 2 base hits for Barnes. Now a base hit for Combs, a base hit for Metzler, who will now be at the dish.
And a beautiful curveball from Drummond fools Metzler. He takes that looking for strike 1. And Metzler really got the party started back in the third inning. He doubled, sending Barnes to third. First extra base hit of the game. That set up the 2-run triple from Junior Coleman.
It's a pretty crucial at-bat here at the bottom of the order for Metzler. Probably Drummond's last frame of work, so would like to get the 9-hole hitter out in some way, shape, or form. Would like a double play, and that would be icing on the cake, but I'd like to start with at least 1 here and hold on to that 1-run lead.
2-1 the count, 1 runner in scoring position, 2-1 on, no one out for the Bombers. Quick look back at second, Drummond deals, cut on a miss, strike 2, as Metzler couldn't find the fastball. And some action in the Bombers' bullpen right on cue. Yusei Teraoka was getting his warm-up throws in, so it looks like he may be coming in for Drummond. Could even be this inning. At the 2-2 pitch from Drummond way outside, and Aberrett does a great job to control the ball, keep it in front of him, and keep both runners at bay. Barnes remains on second base. Combs remains firmly planted on the first base bag. Count runs full on Metzler, who's worked 2 strike counts in each of his last 2 at-bats. The payoff pitch, and that hits him.
Ooh.
I heard some kind of crack. The bat might have been a part of that, but that definitely got some meat from Patrick Metzler. Second batter who was hit by a pitch today. First time that Drummond has been the pitcher. And just like that, the bases are loaded with the top of the order leadoff man coming up, Junior Coleman.
Yeah, not the ideal way that Metzler wants to get on base there. That sounded like it got a lot of his wrist. We'll check on him. It looks like he's okay. It might have gotten some wrist and some of the handle, but they're going to go to Taroka here. So Drummond's day will be done, and the lefty will come in to replace him.
4 innings thrown for Drummond, and Yusei Teraoka is going to come on in a very dangerous situation for the Bombers. Bases jacked, nobody out when we come back. Yusei Teraoka, the left-hander out of Japan, coming on with the bases loaded and the power threatening to break open this Bomber lead. First pitch from Teraoka misses high, count 1-0 to Coleman. Probably the position player who has thrown the most, as Teraoka is primarily an outfielder. 2 games pitched, 1 1/3 innings, 4 hits allowed, 3 strikeouts, as that one is popped foul. Okay, up the count at 1-1.
See 2 big ends of the spectrum between Drummond, the righty with a big frame. Now you go to Teraoka, the lefty with a small frame. Big changes in velocity and stuff.
They're really changing the eye line of the pitchers on that release point as Coleman hammers that down the third base line to foul, count 1-2.
Yeah, it'll definitely speed up the bat of Coleman, who was late on Drummond's fastball. It worked out in his favor his last time up. He hit that triple down the right field line, was late on the fastball there, and now he's showing early signs here. He's well early on the fastball at Teraoka, so the velocity change having a factor.
Curveball hit on the ground off the glove of Donady at third base. Coming home to score is Barnes. That will tie it up, and the runners keep on running around but stop at first and second. So 2-run score there for the Power. That is going to be Barnes and Casey Combs who come around, and it is now a Power lead. This game keeps on flip-flopping. 5-4 your score.
Again, more production at the bottom there. 2 more runs. 4 runs coming from the bottom third of the Power lineup, and another good job by Coleman to hit the ball hard and give himself a chance.
So the lead switches again, as now we have a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Ronnie Keaton, who took strike 1, to Yusei Teraoka. Teraoka looked a lot better in his outing against the A's, as that one is in there for the strike, 0-2. A third of an inning against the Chill, 3 hits, 3 runs, though one of them earned as Keaton cuts on and misses for strike 3. 3 straight strikes from Yusei Teraoka after the errant fielding play plates a run.
Number 29.
Plenty of strikeouts for the Bombers pitching staff today, but getting good contact from the power hitters when they need it, in good situational hitting as well. So a lot to build around there when your offense has it rolling, and they are certainly rolling at this moment in a 1-run lead.
1-0 the count to the pinch hitter, Willie Barcena, who comes in for Robbie Carling at DH. 2-0 the count to him. Carling's day is done after 2 strikeouts and what was a planned substitution by Casey Dill. Not a guy who switches out his guys that much during games as Barcena gets the first strike, a swing and a miss on an outdoor slider. 2-1 the count to him. Barcena and Carling switching numbers for the day. And Barcena in a place to do some damage. Can't catch up with a breaking ball there, though. 2-2. And Teraoka goes back to the well because he knows it fools the man at the plate. We'll see if he can do it one more time, as he's a strike away from a crucial second out. Teraoka looks back towards second base, and this time Barcena times it up, drills it deep into the gap in right center field, and that is going to fall. A slow running from that Malcolm Smith. Standing up on second base is going to be Willie Barcena. The throw comes home, and a beautiful throw by the right fielder, Tyler Ryan, with the cannon to cut down the lead runner. And no thank you, says Ryan, as Metzler is out at home.
Play was really blown up by Tyler Ryan in right field. I don't know if he just didn't see it off the bat or what was going on there, but it looked like he just didn't see it at all. Malcolm Smith had to run all the way over from center field, had to run about a mile over there. And a good job by the Bombers, though, to get the out at the plate. Metzler could not score. Kind of a blown-up play from the start, another outfield blunder, but they make up for it on the good, strong throw-in on the cut and the relay at the plate.
So the first pitch is in there to Robert Bruggemeyer. And the next one misses. 1-1 the count. Teraoka's working quickly from the mound. Bruggemeyer struck out both times he faced Drummond. We'll see what he does against the lefty, as he drills that hard, but it is in foul territory, and that will fall out of play. 1-2. Well hit ball just a little bit out in front of the breaking ball from Teraoka, who is not a velocity guy. Certainly relies on accuracy. As a foul tip drops out of the glove of Felix Abaret to keep the at-bat alive for Bruggemeyer, 1-2. Two runners in scoring position for the Bombers. Junior Coleman on third as Bruggemeyer pokes that high into the outfield. And that's going to drop in front of the right fielder, Ryan, for a base hit. Ryan going home again. A beautiful throw. Tyler Ryan cuts down Barcena. Two cannons off the arm of Ryan. Saves 2 runs, but the Power score 2. And we have another lead change. 5-4 your score with the Bombers coming up in the bottom of the 5th. Inning is poked up the middle by Freeman. The shortstop Hunt quickly fires across his body, but Blake Freeman speeding down the line to get on base.
A lot of these hitters today, Josh, hitting early in the counts, just being really aggressive out there. It's what you like to see as a hitter. I always like to start things early in the count. Usually the best pitches you'll see will be early on in the count. You'll see your fastballs. Trying to hunt those early on as both teams try to do so here today.
So the biggest, so the lead is 6-4 for the Power now as Felix Abaret takes the first pitch, and it is 1-0 to him. Freeman, 3 stolen bases on the year. He's trying to make it 4. In there for a strike, I believe, on Abaret, but there's stolen base number 4 for Freeman. And it looks like the home plate umpire did not raise his hand, so it's 2-0, but that certainly looked like it caught the plate. 2-0 pitch. Hornstad misses again, and he's behind 3-0 to Abaret with a speedy Blake Freeman already standing on second base. So the Bombers trying to come right back after dropping 2 runs, and that is drilled down the line by Abaret for a base hit. Chugging around third is Freeman. He will score as the left fielder bobbles the ball. That's Zach Thompson, and it's an RBI base hit for Felix Abaret. The Bombers get 1 run closer. 6-5 is your score.
A multi-hit game for Abaret, who hits in the cleanup spot for them. One of the more dangerous hitters that we'll see in this Winter League, and we kind of highlighted it when the game started, just how dangerous the middle of the Bombers' order can be. It's one of those things when they get good starting pitching like they did from Drummond today, it'll always put themselves in a good spot to try and win a ball game. They still trail here, though.
And Cruz, a very dangerous hitter. He is certainly the kind of guy who can change up the outcome of this game with the swing of the bat. 1 homer already this season, and that would give the Bombers the lead. He represents the go-ahead run as the tying run is on first base in Abaret. 0-1 the count to Cruz. And another pickoff attempt as Aberrett is being held on first base. Got an exit velocity of 94.7 miles an hour off the bat of Aberrett as the breaking ball misses inside, count even at 1-1. Another big thank you to Steve Bronack working the flight scope down there, providing some of these next level advanced stats that are coming into our broadcast. Kornstad looks at first, fires home, and the breaking ball catches the outside corner for Cruz. He's behind in a count 1-2.
I feel like we need something on the soundboard, Josh, maybe like something, the NFL, they use their stat bat. We need that on the soundboard up here. Stat bat.
Drilled into the foul territory in right field by Jacob Cruz. And yeah, I'm not opposed to that at all.
Kind of like the Staples easy button.
Steve, would that work?
Yeah, that anything. Yeah,
we'll think of something. We got another month out here. The 1-2 from Kornstad, hit in the air, and that should fall in the gap in at left center field. Rounding first base as the ball is scooped up almost at the warning track by Junior Coleman, and standing up at second base with a double is Jacob Cruz.
Second double for Cruz, this time slicing away from the center fielder into left center field. Just stays on the pitch really well. Really quiet feet at the dish for Cruz. Not a whole lot of lower half movement. A very rotational swing, if you will. On the spectrum of linear and rotational. Just turning and burning and letting that ball get deep in the zone and driving it the other way with authority.
Andrew Caulfield spits on the 1-0 fastball, high and away. Count is 1-0. And the go-ahead run is on second base for the Bombers as Caulfield misses on the outside fastball. 1-1 the count to him. 2 runners on, nobody out. And both runners are in scoring position. 1-1. Swing and a miss again. Caulfield unable to find Kornstad's curveball there. And it's 1-2.
We have 3 straight hits of exit velos over 90 miles per hour, so certainly hitting the ball hard.
And there's another hard hit ball from Caulfield. That pokes through the gap between first and second base for a base hit. Standing up and scoring is Felix Aberrett, but a great throw by the right fielder Bruggemeyer holds on the runner at third base. So we are all tied up once again, and Andrew Caulfield has another RBI for the Bombers.
4 straight base hits. They have it all working right now. Kornstad just hasn't really looked like he's gotten comfortable at all. When he came into this game back there in the 4th, he's really struggled so far. He's only secured 1 out as this ball lifted to center.
Lifted into center, a nice running catch by Coleman, but heading on home is Jacob Cruz. The throw is cut off, and the lead is back to the Bombers, 7-6 in a back-and-forth contest.
Lots of production, and again, we kind of touched on hitting early in the counts. These guys are all getting early bites at it as they'll check to see if they tagged up in time. They did. But Kornstad just feeding them fastballs, very hittable. The comparing and contrasting between his fastball and Scamboluri, we mentioned the spin rate for Scamboluri. His pitches just appeared to really have more of that rising action or ride action, if you will, as Kornstad's just kind of coming in flat and on an easy plane for these hitters to hammer.
Pitch in there for a strike, 1-1 count to Keyshawn Clark. Clark is 0 for 2 on the day. Was the first batter that Kornstad faced in the last inning as Kornstad fires back to first to hold on Andrew Caulfield. 1-1 account. Kornstad will look towards first base, and that is drilled into the gap by Keyshawn Clark. That is going to roll close to the warning track and is picked up a few feet in front of it by the Powers left fielder. He throws it in, not a great throw to the shortstop. It's cut off, taking a little bit too much time, though, is Julian Hunt. And heading home with the extra run is Andrew Caulfield. So it is now 8-6 with an RBI double by Keyshawn Clark.
Really just pouring it on there. Another fastball that just leaks out over the plate. And Clark doing some damage with it. Another hard hit ball. Again, exit velocity is not going to equal a hit every time, but when you're hitting the ball as hard as they are, you're going to put yourself in a great position at least to get on base and get a base hit. all of these just line drives after line drives, a lot of bullet holes in that outfield.
And Tyler Ryan is up, made a couple of really nice throws out in right field as the first pitch from Kornstad misses. It's 1-0. And Ryan also had that run-scoring double back in the fourth inning. Keep the party going for the Bombers. Drove in the first 2 runs and tied it up as he lifts that high in the air into deep left field. Going back and looking at it is the center fielder Coleman as that bounced over the wall for a ground rule double. So another run scores. Keyshawn Clark in there easily, and Tyler Ryan, 2 straight really hard hit balls. It is not easy to bounce one over that outfield fence. And it's 9-6 now in favor of the Bombers.
Yeah, to go the other way like that, Tyler Ryan now with 2 doubles, his 3rd RBI. Really showing the opposite field power. The ball doesn't carry here tremendously well, but just enough lift on that one. He really squared that ball up. One of the louder balls we've heard here so far in this game. Out to right center, just had no chance out there for the outfielders. Bombers really just pouring it on here. They have it rolling, 11 hits now for them. The Power just searching to get out of this inning.
And that pitch doesn't help there. Curveball misses inside on Malcolm Smith to make the count 1-1. And that really had an echo off the bat of Tyler Ryan on that last double. That is how hard he hit that ball. Weak contact out to center field. Couple of steps to the left of Junior Coleman, or the right of Junior Coleman. Broadcaster left. And he makes the grab for the second out.
So the Bombers will hit around here in the 5th. Bring up Clifford Pride, who is one of the guys that does not have a base hit. The only 2 guys without a base hit in the game for the Bombers. Brett Donady, as well as Clifford Pride. Donady at least had a sacrifice fly, so they've gotten great production really from everybody. Prad trying to join in on the crazy train that is keeping on or rolling on with a full head of steam here in the 5th.
5 runs in the inning already for the Bombers, truly living up to their name. 1-0 pitch, misses high, count 2-0. Already 3 doubles in this inning, including that ground rule double, and that makes up half of the team's hits. 6 hits, 5 runs, and there's another base hit. Clifford Pratt into the hit column, and the throw towards home will be late. And the run scores. That's Tyler Ryan who gets his run on the board, and the Bombers in double digits after the RBI single by Clifford Pratt. It is 10-6.
Yeah, and again, another ball that is just crushed off the bat of Pratt. And now he joins the hit column, so that leaves only Donady without a hit for the Bombers. Just a huge inning here. So crucial to put up crooked numbers on the board out here in the Winter League. And the Bombers with 2 back-to-back crooked numbers on the board as they extend their lead. 6 runs across so far in this inning, and they're looking to add even more with Pratt at first with decent speed in his wheels.
And Blake Freeman spits on another outside breaking ball, count 2-0. He led off the inning with a base hit, stole a base, and scored a run. He is 1 for 3 on the day. 2-0 pitch. Hammered but foul down the first baseline, rolling into the Power bullpen. Ball ends up back on the field, but it is a 2-1 count to Freeman with a speedy Clifford Pratt on first base. Pratt widens his lead, and that is enough for Kornstad to check him back at first base. 2-1 the count to Pratt, or to Freeman, as Pratt takes the lead off of first. He won't go, but the pitch misses upstairs, count 3-1.
Bombers now doubling the Power in hits, 12 for them.
Bounces, and that would have been a wild pitch, but it ends up as ball 4. And believe it or not, that is the first walk of the game, and that will roll over the 6th inning. So technically the Bombers leave 2 stranded, but they are certainly not going to complain about this inning. 6 runs, 7 hits, and a 4-run lead against the Power heading into the top of the 6th. So a long inning for the Bombers that doesn't end up getting completed. 2/3 of an inning thrown by Kornstad. And a whole lot of runs as Yusei Teraoka sends the first pitch in to Hunt. Flies that almost straight to the right fielder, but it bounces out of his glove. Looks like a new right fielder in there for the Bombers. We'll give you an update on who that is in a second. Tyler Ryan had played in right and looked fantastic out there, but a substitution from the Bombers ends up in an error.
Yet again, just another routine fly ball that's just off of the heel of the glove out there. It's a ball that needs to be caught.
Leaves Julian Hunt on second base. Already a run in scoring position for the Power. And a pinch hitter up now for them. That's Marcus Page. Replacing Zach Thompson. He swings at the first pitch and sends it behind the plate into the stands. And that hits right next to our broadcast booth. Should have made a diving play on that. So.
Did you bring your glove over here, Josh? I know Andres has been bringing his first base mitt. I keep forgetting mine at home. I need to bring it out here.
I don't think I have a glove that fits me as a check swing from Page makes enough contact with the ball to foul it away. I haven't played baseball in far too long. I get myself a glove.
Got a good old Rawlings Heart of the Hide. One of my favorite gloves ever.
A beautiful curveball sends Page down on strikes. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out following the error. And Yusei Teraoka is now 1 away. And Barnes coming up.
I don't know what it was. I fell in love with Rawlings at a young age. I had a old Rawlings. It was like an infield / pitchers type of glove, and I always thought it was so cool. It had the same webbing as Jeter.
Hit on the ground. Barnes swings at the first pitch, and a throw from the second baseman bounces away from Andrew Caulfield. So 1 run will score, and that is 2 unearned runs now given up by Yusei Teraoka, but the Power scratching their way back. They put a runner back in scoring position, and that will make it 10-7.
A couple of errors here in the 6th from the Bombers, not helping out Teraoka. They have a man warming, but again, pitching depth definitely something that there's not a ton of it in this league. So guys need to be effective when they're out there on the mound to try and limit that possibility of trying to go too deep in the bullpen.
That is another first pitch swing. Casey Combs is the hitter, and the throw by the third baseman will not be in time. So bobbled a little bit by Brett Donity. And the Power have 2 runners on the error, by Brett Donity.
So 3 errors by the Bombers. We'll see if it comes back to bite them.
3 players have reached base, all because of fielding errors. As we have another pinch hitter for the Power here, Gavin Johns will replace Patrick Metzler.
Gavin Johns.
Yeah, so the Power with some life here, and the Bombers just giving them that life, not really having to work for it. They'll take the freebies when they can get them.
First pitch misses high to Gavin Johns after Metzler had a great day, reaching base twice and scoring a run. 1-0 the count to Johns. Line into the outfield for a base hit. A soft line drive, so not enough hard contact to bring Barnes home, but it loads up the bases for the leadoff man. First base hit of the inning for the Power, and the bases are juiced for the leadoff man, Junior Coleman.
Yeah, no need to send Barnes there on the soft line drive into left field. Brings in the left fielder, so he had a good opportunity to throw him out should he have tried to run. They'll just work station to station as they're only down by 3 runs, and they bring it back to the top of the order. So that trio of errors by the Bombers really giving the Power some life, and now it's forcing them to go deeper into that bullpen.
So pitching change for Tom Faith. That'll bring in Kevin Curley. And we will take a quick break here in the California Winter League. Bases are loaded, so don't go anywhere. So the bases are loaded with one out. The go-ahead run is at the plate for the Power, and his name is Junior Coleman. He already has driven in 2 with a triple, reached on an error that scored 2 runs. As the first batter Yusei Teraoka faced, he is now the first batter that Kevin Curley will face. Been the late reliever for the Bombers as he sends the fastball inside, count 1-0.
Surprised the third baseman isn't playing further in. First baseman will play in, middle halfway.
And Curley making his 5th appearance as that one is grounded to second base. Double play territory. Flipped on to first, and Caulfield drops it. And another run will come home, so a bases clearing fielder's choice, it looks like, as the Palm Springs Power still tie the game up on some great 2-out base running.
Yet again, another error. That's going to be the 4th error on the inning. This time on the first baseman, just not able to squeeze it. Go back to the basics of baseball. You throw the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball, and the Bombers just having a difficult time throwing the ball and catching the ball on the defensive side today.
So the first pitch misses to the number 2 hitter, Ronnie Keaton, right on the left matchup here. Gavin John scoring all the way from first on that error. The Power were hustling. Lined foul behind the net. 10-10 is your score. Junior Coleman on first base. All tied up. First time both teams have gotten into double digits. Need a Jacks 11-7 win over the Grizzly on opening day. That was the only other time we've seen double digits. What a jump from first base by Junior Coleman. He caught Curley napping.
He had enough time there to stop at McDonald's through the drive-thru, order himself a large fry, and keep on moving along. Probably the best jump I've seen so far.
Oh, without question. That was before Curley was even in his wind. The 2-1. Catching the outside corner with the heat, 2-2.
Back and forth matchup so far. Two of the better teams that we've seen in this Winter League. Curley trying to clean up this mess that the Bombers have found themselves in defensively.
2-2 pitch misses outside, and now the count is full to Ronnie Keaton.
This is one of those pitches here, the full count, that Curley will probably just look to bear down and try to just do it himself.
Payoff pitch coming from Curley. A big lead taken at second base by Coleman. Dancing around there. Curley offers home. Fastball just missing outside and extending the inning for the Power. So two speedsters on base for Palm Springs. And that will bring up Willie Barcena.
Double for him his last time up and an RBI. Such a good start from Luke Drummond, and now this game has ballooned into an offensive battle after both of the starters are out of the game. Barcena taking a free swinging approach here. Pretty good hole through that 5-6 slot on the left side if he's able to go the other way.
0-1 the count to Barcena, who had an RBI double. It was gunned down by Tyler Ryan, trying to score on Robert Bruggemeyer's single. Ryan out of the game, and now in right field is Dre Jones for the Bombers. Curley looks at second base. Bombers still clinging to a one-run lead after three have come home for the Power in this inning. Gavin Johns was out on that fielder's choice. And now Junior Coleman stands on second. Ronnie Keaton on first, and a 1-1 count to Willie Barcena. So no earned runs for Yusei Teraoka. We'll have his book in a moment. He has allowed 4 runs now, and none of them are earned. Curley looking for the sign, quickly into the stretch. Quick look at Coleman at second. Fires in the fastball that catches the outside corner. 2-2 to Barcena.
Curley will look to just do it himself again. Hasn't gotten any help defensively. He'll probably just look to rear back here, try to blow something by Barcena. We'll see. Also, he might go back to the breaking stuff, try to get him to fish.
Deuces wild, the 2-2. Caught on a miss, strike 3. Kevin Curley, the big punch out to save the lead for the Bombers, but the Power inch closer as we head into the bottom half of the 6th inning. 10-9 is your score from Palm Springs Stadium. So a bunch of defensive changes coming in for the Power. Gavin Johns is in at first base. At second, moving from third, is Landon Barnes. The first pitch to Aberrett from the new pitcher in Zach Thompson is skied high into shallow center field. The shortstop, Keaton, calls off the center fielder to make the grab for the first down.
It's about as far out that you'll ever see a shortstop make a play. Josh, if I was the second baseman there, I'm saying, no way, Jose, that's my baseball. But
it did kind of curve from the shortstop to the second base there. Could have been Barnes at second. Could have been Coleman at center to make that catch. But it was Ronnie Keaton getting the credit. Jacob Cruz will come up. 3 hits for him in 3 at-bats. 2 straight doubles. As the first pitch from Thompson bounces for ball 1.
What that really reminded me of was the good old days of Elvis Andrus and the third baseman for the Rangers, Adrian Beltre, when they used to joke around on the infield. Those guys are hilarious to watch. They would always fake like they were going to catch it. They would fake out the cameraman a lot of times as they would play games on the infield. Also, I remember, I think it was Robbie Cano, maybe for the Yankees, used to joke around, like, stay off my side of the infield.
1-1 pitch is grounded at first. Johns waits a bit for the pitcher, but throws it out in front of him, and speeding on to second base is Cruz. Firing to second is Zach Thompson, so the error by Gavin Johns is to no avail as Cruz is gunned down trying to head to second base.
So the early error there, but they're picked up as Cruz was trying to extend it. Probably not necessary on his part there. You're already aboard on the error with 1 out. No real need to stretch it there with only a 1-run lead. And there the aggressiveness works against them.
First pitch from Thompson to Caulfield, misses low for ball 1. Caulfield's reached two times in his last 2 at-bats, hit by a pitch and singled. He's 1 for 2 on the day, 2 runs scored and 1 batted in. That one is drilled high in the air, deep into left field. Running back to look for it and making the catch is the Power left fielder. And that will do it for the inning. Looks like Julian Hunt came all the way out to play left field as Thompson started the game there. But that will end off the inning. So 1, 2, 3, go the Power. Go the Bombers, rather. And that will do it. We are heading into the 7th inning. The Bombers, a 1-run lead. Kevin Curley going to be back on the mound to try and get the save. Robert Bruggemeyer led off the 5th and is back for more. He has struck out twice, but he singled in a run in the last inning and will face off against Kevin Curley. First pitch to Bruggemeyer is lofted high in the air, in the infield, and on the dirt is the shortstop Crad, who makes the catch for the first out. Exactly what the Bombers needed.
One pitch, one out. Couldn't draw it up any better than that. As the Power looked for that ever elusive one run. Down by one here, 10-9. See if Hunt can get things started for them offensively.
And Curley looking for the 5-out save as Hunt lays down a nice bunt down the first base line. Quickly firing to first base is Brett Donady, who is pumped up after getting that out.
Pretty good bunt attempt by Julian Hunt. Puts himself in a decent spot to get aboard on the base hit. Bunting it down the third base line, taking that drop step, that right foot back, and then in the barrel out in front, eye level, but a pretty good play by the third baseman. And that's a deflating out there as they're down to their last one in this ball game.
And Marcus Page, one at bat in the last inning, struck out looking and starts things off the same way. He has seen 4 pitches. They have all been strikes, and he's down 0-1 to Kevin Curley. Page still been one of the better hitters for the Power so far. Came into this game 3 for 10, now 3 for 11 as that one misses outside. Count 1-1. 1 run scored on the air for Page. One of those 3 hits was a double, but 4 strikeouts now for Marcus Page, the former State College Spike in the inaugural season of the MLB Draft League. 1-1. Cut on a miss, strike 2, and it's a 1-2 count to Page now. Curley 1 strike away from the 3rd save of the season for every California Winter League pitcher. A.J. Shaw started things off. Walker Paz got a 1-out save the other day for the A's. And now Curley is a strike away. The 1-2, wave and a whiff, strike 3. Kevin Curley gets it done for the Bombers, powering his way to a 1-2-3 top of the 7th inning. So a back and forth contest with the most of the runs coming in the last 4 innings. The Bombers scored 3 in the 4th, 6 in the 5th. The Power scored 3 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th. It ends up 10-9 in this contest. The winning pitcher is going to be Usei Teraoka. Kevin Curley on there for the save. Getting the loss is Samuel Bornstad for the Power. These are firsts for each one of these guys. 1 save for Curley, 1 win for Teraoka. And 1 loss for Samuel Bornstad. It's great playing at the plate, a whole lot of hits. As 9 runs from the Power came online, hits 12 hit, the second most in a game this season. Come on, 10 runs for the Bombers. But Mitch, a big story of this game had to be the play in the field.
Yeah, it ended up being pretty much the deciding factor. A great start from both Scambolari and Luke Drummond, and we were excited there in those early innings, just getting to watch them pound away at the zone, both of the starters pitching in their upper 80s range, throwing a lot of strikes. Drummond with a bunch of strikeouts for him as he had 8 in the ball game. But again, once those guys came out of the game, the storyline really was the defense, a bunch of errors on both ends, and it really was the Bombers making the difference with some good production at the bottom of their order. Couple of extra base hits from Tyler Ryan in that 9-hole slot provided some good offense for them. Jacob Cruz, a 3-hit game for him, 2 runs scored. They get production all around from everybody. Donady was the only person without a base hit, but he did have the sacrifice fly. So when you can have all guys in your order from top to bottom, 1 through 9, contribute offensively, you're going to have a lot of success. And both of those teams will look to improve defensively moving forward, but nonetheless, it's a good win for the Bombers as they look to keep things rolling here in the California Winter League.
And the Bombers end their 2-game losing skid with a second victory over the Power. That's 2 very different games. A 4-0 win for the Power in game number 1 and a 10-9 victory for the Bombers here today We won't have a rematch between these two sides until next Tuesday, January 31st. That'll be the afternoon game. But we've got another afternoon game coming today at about half an hour at 12:30. Call of the game will be right here on our YouTube channel. Palm Springs Chill are at home hosting the Alberta Grizzly. For Mitch Glessner, I'm Josh Skirby. I want to thank you all for listening today and the entire California Winter League season. We hope you'll stick with us in half an hour, so stay tuned for more California Winter League baseball action.